Oscar Piastri finds himself in McLaren hot water despite winning the Grand Prix in Baku. The Australian, who has clearly shown that he is never going to back down for Norris or any other driver on the grid, was in the news again for going against a team directive. His action was in direct opposite to Norris, who, like an obedient child, always does what he is told. Norris was told to help hold off Perez to allow Piastri, who had gone for fresh tyres, stay ahead of the Mexican when he came out of the pits. Lando diligently followed the orders and was able to fend off the Mexican just enough. But what happened as soon as Oscar had the new tyres pitched him directly in confrontation with his team? As most drivers got a set of hard tyres in the second stint, there was a huge emphasis on preserving the tyre life till the end of the race. The main bone of contention was that Pirelli, which produces the tyres, had instructed all teams that they must gradually warm their hard tyres, otherwise the degradation would be too rapid. But Piastri, as soon as he got the tyres, threw caution in the wind and went against both Pirelli and his own race engineer by immediately attacking Charles Leclerc. The driver revealed that he deliberately ignored the instructions of Tom Stallard, his race engineer, who after the pit stop had asked him to warm up the tyres gently. I feel a bit guilty towards my race engineer, because basically in the second stint I tried to repeat what I had already done in the first. After the start I had pushed hard, immediately ruining the tyres, and so the pit wall had asked me not to do it again. But I completely ignored it, and on the following lap I threw myself on the inside to overtake Leclerc. He added that if he had followed team orders, he would have finished the race second. This latest act of stubbornness tied in with the issues the team had envisaged between Oscar and Norris. Prior to this race, McLaren had made it abundantly clear that they were going to introduce papaya rules. Papaya rules, which have now become part of the sport's vernacular, are essentially McLaren's internal rules on how and when their drivers are free to race each other rather than hold position. What it boils down to is that the teammates must not take too much risk when racing against each other. This was specifically targeted at Piastri, who muscled Norris out of the way in Monza, which cost the team a probable 1-2 finish. They had also said that they would be throwing their weight behind Norris and had hinted that Oscar would need to comply. "We will bias our support to Lando, but we want to do it without too much compromise on our principles," Stella told the BBC. But whatever rules they have in mind, Piastri has clearly shown that he is having none of it. His manager, Mark Webber, the perennial second driver, has made it abundantly clear to McLaren that there is no way Oscar will be allowed to play second fiddle to Norris. Oscar got away with it in Baku, but a similar disobedience might have been the reason why he lost the race in Monza. If you remember, both McLarens had eaten through the tyres, which prompted an extra pit stop. This stop would later cost them the win, as Leclerc, who perhaps had listened to his race engineers not to go hard on the tyres, was able to finish the race without needing an extra stop. With the gap between the teammates now cut down to 32 points, some within the organisation feel that Piastri is the guy they should back to go after Verstappen. With Piastri's latest act of stubbornness, it was reported that he faced some rather awkward criticism in the post-race meeting. Even though he was right to immediately attack Leclerc for the lead when he should have taken it easy on the tyres, the team still feels the need to rein in on him. Charles Leclerc, on the other hand, was surprised that he was never able to snatch the lead back from Oscar. The Monegasque had listened to his own engineers to take it gentle on the hards, hence the reason why he had allowed Oscar to pass. He thought he would be able to catch the Australian later in the race, only for it to prove an impossible task. He argued Oscar was using a special engine mode which, with the press of a button, allows the MGUK to release more power on the straights, thereby rendering his DRS useless. The MGUK is mainly used to recover kinetic energy during deceleration and to assist engine output during acceleration. Leclerc would have known exactly what was happening because the lights would flash when a car is in regen mode, to warn other cars that it'll be slower. But there still appears to be a taint in Piastri's victory amid calls by fans and teams that the FIA needs to stop McLaren's use of the flexi-wing. 2 weeks ago, the FIA said that all front wings are in conformity with the flexi-wing regulation. However, McLaren has now doubled down on it by introducing rear flexi-wings in Baku. The governing body has told all teams there is nothing they could do about it, but has hinted that from next year, they would be introducing a new testing regimen to better prevent wing flexing. Do you think McLaren should make Oscar their #1 driver? This is Front Lockout. Signing off.